everyone. This is Catherine Stitching Chronicles, my channel where I talk about my love of all things cross stitch, and welcome to Flosstube number 16. So I've got lots of amazing things to share with you today. I have two FFOs, or fully finished objects, two. I have my very first cross stitch project that I ever finished that I recently rediscovered. Lots of WIP progress and a few new starts, of course. So let's get into it. So I'm going to start first with my FFOs. Like I said, there are two of them, which is crazy. So one is a project that I finished and then FFO'd the next day. And the other is a project that I finished a little while ago, but I just got it back from the framers and I'm super excited about it. So the first one that I have is the Court of Crows Stitch Along from Fine Frog Stitching. So this is a SAL that started a few months ago, and I've been keeping up with it on a week-to-week basis. I finished it and I framed it, which is so exciting. So here it is. So I stitched this on 18 count Kunzite Ada from Fiber on a Whim, which is this really pretty mottled, like cool toned lavender. And I used all the called for DMCs. I definitely did make a couple mistakes in here. Like, I think I mixed up some of the greens in here, but you can't really tell. So I finished this, the last part came out on July 4th, and I finished this on July 6th. So I finished it as quickly as I possibly could. And then I had this frame in my collection. It's just like a plain silver frame. And I bought this, I thrifted this, I don't even know when. I have quite a stockpile of frames in my cupboard for projects just like this that I don't want to custom frame. So I always look for frames when I go to the thrift store. So I've got quite a variety, and this was in my pile. It was like $4 and it fit this perfectly. So super happy with how this turned out. It looks great. And I've got the perfect spot for it on my shelf that's over on that side of the room. So I get to look at it all the time and I really love it. My second FFO is possibly the biggest project that I've ever been the most excited about ever. I'm so unbelievably happy with how it turned out. And that is Phoenix Queen from Bella Filipina. So I started this in, I believe, 2023. And I finished stitching it in January of this year, 2025. So I just went to go get it framed, and it was my birthday gift from my husband to get it framed. And I just got it back a week ago or 2 weeks ago. And I'm like over the moon with how it turned out. So it's really big and heavy. So just, bear with me here. Like, see how huge this is, right? Ta-da! Tell me that's not like the coolest thing you've ever seen. I am obsessed with her. My jaw hit the floor when I went to go pick it up and they showed it to me. I'm just in love with it. So as far as the stitching, these are all the called for supplies, and I stitched this on 20 count Peach Blossom Lugana from Forbidden Fiber Co. And then I got it framed at Michael's. I've always been pretty happy with how my things have turned out from them, and this is no exception. Oh my god, my cat is losing it outside my door as usual. So when I brought it in, I knew that I wanted to get like a chunky gold frame like this. This part I knew, but I wasn't really sure what I wanted to do like for the mat. I was thinking maybe a dark red would be nice, but I wasn't totally sold. Like, I wanted to play around and experiment and figure out something that would look great. So we picked out this frame first, which is exactly what I had in mind. And then we played around with a few different options for the mat, but we landed on this dark red, like maroonish color. And it's actually a velvet mat. I mean, it's covered by glass, you can't really tell, but it does have just, you can kind of see the texture a little bit. And I've actually used this mat on, what is it, Jeweled Baubles from Shane and Christine. I use the same mat for that. It's absolutely stunning. And then one of the people working there suggested that we do a double mat and do this kind of cutout thing in the corner. And I just think it turned out so beautifully. It's absolutely massive. Like, it's giant. But I think I'm gonna hang it here. I think there should be enough room there for this to go. Obviously I haven't actually like hung it up yet, but I plan to soon because I can't stop staring at this. She is so beautiful. Like, look at that corner detail. It's just amazing. So yeah, I think this one takes the cake for my proudest finish. So now for something kind of fun before I get into my WIP progress. So this is the first cross stitch project that I ever finished. Ta-da! So I stitched this, oh my gosh, I would have been going into grade 7. So I think I was like 11 maybe when I stitched this. This was a kit, and I stitched this as a gift for my grandmother. So I stitched obviously the whole thing. I made the frame with my dad, and then we got this mat probably just from Michael's to fit into the frame and to go around the stitching. So yeah, this was the first thing that I ever finished, and I'm gonna be honest, this project fully traumatized me because we washed it, and this dark pink floss, it bled everywhere. Like, pretty much the entire thing was stained dark pink. It was really bad. There was a lot of crying involved. It wasn't that good. So I don't know how my mom got it out. My mom also used to do a lot of cross stitch. I got a lot of supplies from her. She taught me how to stitch. She stitched many projects over the years. So this was not her first experience with with floss bleeding, but it was pretty bad. So I don't know how she got it out, but she did mostly. If you look really closely, I feel like you can still see it a little bit if you're really looking for it, but if you didn't know it was there, you would never notice. So yeah, this is my first project. My grandmother has since passed away, and this has been in my belongings ever since. I think I had it in my room for a few years, like when I was still living at my parents' house, and then it's been in the basement ever since. And we found it down there a few weeks ago, so now I have it in my house. So I thought that this would just be kind of fun to share and kind of see where it all started. All right, so now on to the WIPs. So first up, I have Strawberry Mountain from Jet X Stitch. So I started this at the beginning of June for the hashtag Strawberry Moon SAL, which is hosted by Marjorie Maid. So this is how it looked the last time you saw it. And this is how it looks now. I love this project so much. So this is 36 count Love Bug linen from Roxy Floss. So this was part of my fabric subscription through Evertote in I think February. It's a really beautiful shade of pink. Oh my gosh, I love it. So I'm using all the called for threads for this. It's all DMC except for that dark brown color, which is also a Roxy Floss thread. And I'm doing 1/2 on 36. So the last time you saw this, I've done 1,033 stitches, which brings me to 25.1% complete, or 1,889 stitches. So I made a decent amount of progress in June. I'm really happy with how far I got. I kept kind of making like lofty goals for myself, like, oh, I'm going to try to reach 10%, 15%, and then I got to 20%, and then I reached 25%. So I was really happy with that. And I'm obsessed with how it looks. So now that June is over, I have put this away for now, but I really, really love it. And yeah, I'm not sure when I'll pull this back out again, just because I have a lot of other WIPs that I want to work on too. So this one might be kind of put away for a while, but super happy with how it's going so far. Super happy with how far I got. And I mean, come on, like this fabric is just to die for. So love it. Next up, I have the Extraordinary Birds Stitch Along from Lola Crow Cross Stitch. So this is how it looked the last time you saw it. I've been working a lot on this one. I've been able to complete every section every week. So this is how it's looking. I have completed everything so far, which is all the way up to feature number 8, which was this guy up here. So since the last time you saw it, I've done 3,261 stitches, which is a lot. Her releases are no joke. They are big, but I mean, look how awesome this looks, right? So this is 28 count linen that I dyed myself. Yeah, so like I said, that was feature number 8. And I don't remember how many there are in total, but I want to say that this is about the halfway point, I think, which is crazy. Like, it's going by really fast. But yeah, I'm loving this. Every part is just so beautiful and so creative, and I'm really looking forward to seeing how the rest of it looks. Next up, I have Neon Cicada from Bad Stitched. So I started this for the hashtag Cicada SAL, which was hosted by some of my friends over on Instagram, because I mean, we all just thought that this pattern was fabulous. So they started the SAL for it, and of course I wanted to join in. So this is how it looked the last time I showed it to you. And this is how it looks now. So I'm stitching this on a t-shirt and I'm stitching this on water soluble canvas. So since the last time I shared this, I've done 631 stitches, which has brought me to 49.9% complete. I'm literally just a couple of stitches under the 50% mark. So this is really fun to work on. Like, all the different colors in here are just gorgeous. So I want to keep working on this. I want to get this done. And I definitely can get it done, like, soon, hopefully. This is my first time stitching on clothing and using canvas like this, so I'm hoping it turns out okay. I'm nervous that, like, this shirt is a little bit stretchier than what I think I should have gotten, so I'm worried that it's getting like a little bit kind of warped under here, but I mean, it is what it is at this point. We'll find out when I take it off. The colors in here are just absolutely fabulous, and they're gonna pop so nicely on the black. Like, it's kind of being muddied up by the canvas. It's like, but all those neon colors straight on black is gonna look so good. So now I have my new starts. So I have 3 new starts, 2 of which were planned. One was kind of an impulse start yesterday. I literally just started it. So starting with Feeling Crabby from Meridian Cross Stitch. So this was a new start for the hashtag Summer Birthday Sal, or Summer B-Day Sal, which I started along with a couple of other friends on Instagram. So basically we all had summer birthdays around the same time, so we wanted to have an excuse to start some summer themed projects. So on June 21st, we started the SAL, and basically the idea was that anyone could join and stitch any summer themed pattern. So you're more than welcome to join in, of course. Just make sure to use the hashtag and tag myself on Instagram so I can see it, and I'll add the tags of my friends in the description box as well, so you can tag them too. So yeah, I started feeling Crabby, which is this adorable little biscornu, and this is where I've gotten to. So I've done 881 stitches, which brings me to 31% complete. And I'm stitching this on 28 count Santa's Helper Lugana from Forbidden Fiber Co., which is like the perfect, like minty seafoam green. So yeah, this is the top piece of the biscornu. As you can see, I've done half of it so far. So I've started this third crab up down here. There will be a fourth crab here, and then a couple more seashells. And then the bottom part, like the bottom design of the biscornu, is different than the top, but it does have a little bit less stitching, so it should be even quicker to get done. This also has beads on it, which is really fun because, I mean, you know me, of course, I love beads. So I'm excited to get the stitching on this done and get the beads on there. And yeah, this is another small project that, you know, I could conceivably finish soon. Maybe. We'll see. My next start was for Christmas in July. So this is Lit from the Artsy Housewife. And I started this with the Maniac Stitcher over on Instagram. She had heard me mention it in one of my previous videos and messaged me to see if I wanted to start it with her for Christmas in July, which of course I did. So I started this, I think on July 1st, actually. And here is where I'm at so far. So I've done 1,682 stitches, which brings me to 10% complete, which was my initial target. I'm trying to take a page out of the book of Bridget the Museum Stitcher by trying to get to at least 10% on my WIPs, or 10% on my new starts. Once they become WIPs, just so that I don't have a bunch of like really sad starts. I do have some pretty sad starts and a lot of them are recent, so try to avoid that with this one. And I did get to the 10% mark, which I'm really happy with. So this is 32 count lunar linen from Forbidden Fiber Co. This is a lot cooler than the recommended fabric. Like it's very gray. So I did actually swap out the color for the lights. The called for is like more of a gray. I swapped it for a blue over dye that I had in my stash just to make it pop a little bit more. So that's a change that I made. The rest is either the called for fancy floss or the recommended DMC substitutes. Oh my God, it looks so good. Oh, I love it. So yeah, I am a center starter through and through. So I think this was the center point. So I worked my way over to get to the antler and down to the reindeer, because I mean, the reindeer is just a big hunk of brown. So I wanted to start chipping away at that. And then I started working over, and I would like to get to the border so I can at least start chipping away on the border too, because I don't really enjoy doing borders. I don't enjoy repetition. So I know I'm gonna find the border like really tedious. And that's the thing with patterns from the Artsy Housewife, is like her charts are gorgeous and her borders are like so interesting. They're so unique, they're chunky, they're colorful, they're really different than just like, you know, a plain straight line. But the fact of the matter is that they're still repetitive. They're still, you know, the same kind of motif that's being repeated over and over and over and over and over and over and over. And they are big and chunky, so they are a lot of stitching. So I figure the sooner I can get to that and start working on it, the better. So anyway, 10% was my tentative goal, I guess, for this project for the month. And I mean, we're only halfway through July and I've already met that. So I do plan to pull this out a few more times this month. And then I'm probably going to put it away until the holiday season. So I'm not putting any goals or pressure on myself to get any amount of progress on this. We'll just see what I can get done, and that'll be that. So my third start and final project to share with you today is mini pineapple stitches from Jeanette Douglas. So I got this as a freebie from one of my table mates at Stitch North in 2024. She very kindly let those of us at our table kind of look through all the stuff that she had brought for the freebie table before actually putting it out for everyone. So I was able to snag this from her. I really like pineapples. When I was in my teens, I really had a thing for pineapples too. I had a lot of like pineapple decor. I had pineapple clothes. I had pineapple everything. So I'm not as obsessed as I used to be, but I still enjoy some pineapples here and there. So this has been sitting in my stash. And if you've been following my Stitching Space organization video series, you might be interested to know that my next video will be all about my patterns and kits that I have in my stash. So I've been working on that one, and I was going through all my stuff this weekend and I came across this in my stash. And I knew that I had it. I hadn't like forgotten about it or anything, but I thought it was just a pattern. What I didn't realize is that there were some threads and a charm in a little baggie stapled inside the booklet, and it was actually kind of like a kit. So of course, once I realized that, I had to start it. So I did. And I started it yesterday, and this is where I got to. So this is 32 count granite linen from Forbidden Fiber Co. It's really quite interesting. It's kind of like a whitish gray base, but then it's got this yellow, kind of yellowish beigey modeling on top. So it's kind of interesting. And yeah, this is where I'm at. So what I also didn't realize is that a lot of this is specialty stitches. Like I just assumed it was all cross stitch. I didn't look very closely, but there's a lot of specialty stitches. So that pineapple there at the top is specialty stitches. That pineapple there, those are snare crosses, and that one's just back stitch. But yeah, that's where it's at so far. And yeah, there's some interesting threads in there too. So I'm actually gonna go grab those. My bag's over there, so I'll be right back. So this is what came inside the pattern booklet that I literally didn't even know was there. Kind of oblivious, I guess. So there are 2 strands or 2 lengths of silk, I think. Yeah, these are both silk. So this is SNC Autumn Bouquet from the Thread Gatherer. So it's really pretty. It's kind of like purpley. There's purple colors there, kind of that rust color and greens. So there's just one piece like that. And then this is a Gloriana silk. This is pineapple silk. So yellow to green. And then there's also a piece of Gloriana lorikeet wool, which I'd never heard of such a thing, but it's literally a piece of wool. And it's the same colors as the silk, but it's wool. So after doing some research online, it seems that you can work with this as wool, or it can be separated into individual strands. So all the work on this project is being done with one strand of this. So it is a little bit difficult to separate just because it is fuzzy. So you kind of have to pull it apart, but I think this is 9 strands. So there's quite a bit here to work with. And then there's a little pineapple charm in there as well. So very fun and exciting to figure out that I had this, because I literally had no idea that these were in here. So yeah, I just started this yesterday. Whoops. And the pattern is split into 10 rows. So you can see like kind of where all the different rows are. So I'm working on row 3. And this is going to be pretty small when it's finished. It's only about 2.5 by 5.5. So it's pretty petite. But yeah, I thought it was kind of different, kind of fun. I've never done any like specialty stitches before, so definitely a learning experience for me to do those stitches, but also to work with some new materials. So I plan to keep working on this one as well, and keep making progress, because I really had fun working on it yesterday. So for plans, as I said, we are halfway through July, about halfway through July right now. So for the rest of the month, I'm super excited to keep working on all the things that I just showed you. And I'll likely pull out a few others as well, just because I can. Switching up my stitching a little bit and like letting go of some of the goals that I had made for myself has been actually really liberating and really fun. And I've really been enjoying just working on whatever I feel like. So this coming weekend, July 19th and 20th, will be the Midsummer Stitch, which is a virtual retreat hosted by Lindy Stitches. So I will be attending this event again, and I'm super excited. I'm really looking forward to all of the meet and greet sessions that are scheduled. And I gotta say, I am pretty determined to get it finished this weekend. So that will likely be either Feeling Crabby or Neon Cicada. We'll see which one I have the most time to work on between now and then and over the course of the weekend. But both of those are definitely like finishable projects by the end of the weekend. So we'll see which one comes out on top, but I am determined to get it finished this weekend. So that wraps things up for today. Thank you as always so much for watching, and I will see you again soon in my next Flosstube update. So I will see you then, and until then, happy stitching. Bye.